Hello and welcome to Quick Maths Revision, where today we've got a quick LaTeX tutorial on how to create a formal document in LaTeX. So that's either going to be a mathematical paper or an article. So what we'll do is we'll start off with how to format your article or document. So one little tip that I quite like is in this \date section there's a shortcut that LaTeX knows. So if you put \today, then what that'll do is that'll automatically change the date to today. So if I recompile this tomorrow, then that would read 1st of November 2019 instead of 31st of October. So that's quite a cool trick. So automatically on Overleaf it gives you a title, author and then date. So then this \make title function here, that will create this. So if I was to type anything now, so if I was to create a section, we'll call it section 1, what you'll see is that that'll be printed right underneath this title here. So sometimes when you come to creating documents you'll want to have a title page instead. So underneath this make title, what you can do is if you do \title page, then what you'll see is that this section 1 will now have been moved onto the next page, which is what we're wanting. So the reason that I've put sections in is that sections are quite an effective way of organising your document. So we'll put some more sections in for an example. So if we have section, we call this one section 2, and then we'll have another one, so we'll do \section, and then we'll call this one section 3. So when we compile that, we'll now see that we have 1, 2, 3, section 1, section 2, and section 3. So one of the things that LaTeX understands is that you can have sections and then you can put subsections within your sections, which is quite good. You can organise things a bit better that way. So if you put subsection, then we can call this one subsection 1A. And then we'll just put another one in underneath section 2. So we'll do \subsection, and then we'll call that one subsection 2A. And then we'll put another one in, so \subsection, we'll call that one subsection 2B. So now when we compile that, you'll see that within section 1 and 2 we should have some subsections. So there you go, so that's 1 in the section 1 and then 2 in section 2. So that's quite good, and LaTeX actually lets you do it one further time, so you can have what's called a subsection. And then similar to before, we'll call it subsection 2AI. So then when we compile that, you can see that we've now got a subsection within your section, and then you've got a subsection within that subsection, which is quite a good way of formatting your work and keeping things organised and making sure everything is in the right place. So within our formal document or paper, sometimes it's quite useful to have a table of contents, so then people know where they can find everything. So what we can do is after the title page we can put in a table of contents, which is done by using the command \table of contents. And if we do that, then what you'll see is that here we go, we've got a list here of all of our sections, subsections and subsections. So this is why I recommended that you use sections and these subsections to break up your document, because a table of contents with this command here will print out all of your sections, subsections and subsections. It won't print any enumerations or itemizes. So this is quite a good way for the reader to see where everything is and how they can get to it. So what we can do is, we don't want our sections to begin right after our table of contents really, so we can use the command which is \new page, and that will put everything after this command onto a new page. So as you can see, it went from section 1 on page 1 to section 1 on page 2. So if you look there, everything's moved on to the next page. So say if we wanted to, it's really good for formatting your work. So sometimes LaTeX doesn't put the stuff right where you want it to be, and it doesn't quite interpret how you want things to be laid out. So for example, if I've been typing lots of stuff in section section 1 and subsection 1A is near the end of the page, yet section 2 starts just on the bottom of the page, which I don't want it to, you can just put the \new page command, and then that'll send the section 2 onto the next page, which is quite useful. Okay, so now that we've got the layout quite good, what we can do is we can start off with some of the specifics for a document that's a formal paper. So after your table of contents, we'll have to have what's called an abstract, which is basically a quick overview of what the paper entails. So you'll do \begin and then abstract. And then when you hit enter, it creates an environment for you to type in. So anything you type in here will be printed as your abstract. So this is my abstract. It is a short overview of what the paper entails. It is normally quite short and easy to follow. So then when I compile that, what you'll see is that before section 1 I've got an abstract that's been printed here, and it's already labelled as abstract, so you don't need to do any labelling. Just by putting begin abstract, it'll title it, and you'll see that it indents it quite a bit further than normal text. So that's how you put an abstract in, which is quite useful. So within your paper you might need to be putting some footnotes in. So if you're wanting to refer to other sections of the notes, or any references or stuff, what you can do is you can put a footnote in. So in section 1, if I put some text, this is section 1, it comes before section 2. So if I type that in there and we compile it, you can see that now in section 1 I've got this text that says this is section 1, it comes before section 2. So if after section 1 I wanted to put a link in, so put a footnote in, what we'll do is we'll use the command \footnote and then curly brackets. So anything we put in our curly brackets is what the footnote is going to read. So this is footnote 1. So if I compile that, what you'll see is that I've now got this superscript 1 here, so that's for my footnote, and then down at the bottom, there you go, this is footnote 1. So that's quite useful there. So what you can do is you can use these as and when you want throughout your document, and you can just put them in right into the text with your \footnote, and it'll print the footnote at the bottom of that page. So that's quite useful. So we've now got an abstract, we've got a table of contents, a title page, and we've laid everything out into sections. What you might want is you might want some appendices at the end. So what you do is right at the end of your document you put \appendix. Oops, not like that. So once you put that in, after that you can do \section like we've done with everything else, and if we put appendix A \section appendix B, then what you can do is if you compile that, you can see that what we'll have is appendix A and appendix B, and they've been labelled A and B rather than through the numbering system for everything else. So by putting this \appendix in, every section that follows will be lettered rather than numbered, and as you can see, because we use a section, it'll be included in our table of contents, which is just what we wanted. So hopefully with everything that you've been taught today, you should be able to create quite an effective and professional looking document within LaTeX, so using the article document class. So I hope you found that useful, and you write some nice looking documents in LaTeX.